Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's Just Two Movies.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. My name is Daniel King. With me in the studio this evening,
Jackson.
Hey.
What's up?
What's going on, man? Been a while.
It's been a minute.
Been a while since you've been back on the show. We've actually been catching up.
Yeah, the summer went by, and then it was like now. Just like, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, and now we're.
It's been a minute.
Well, by the time anybody listens to this, it'll be October.
So even more of a minute by then.
Yeah,
it's like a minute and a half.
Exactly. So if it's your first time tuning into the show, what we do is we watch two movies. One of us thinks is good. It's like a recommendation. The other one's got to do it as homework. The other movie just has something loosely in common with it. Maybe it's bad, schlocky, old, or poorly reviewed, or whatever the situation is. And then we watch that one together, have a couple drinks, and then review it as well. Yep. So this was your pick?
Yeah, so you asked me what kind of horror movies I like, and I'm like, I think we did this last year, and then I was like, let me think of something new. Because last year I think we did a zombie movie. And I threw a couple of movies at you.
Oh, we did Train to Busan.
And
then we did Tokyo Zombie. Yeah, Train to Busan's a great fucking flick.
Yeah. This time, I just threw a couple movies at you, and you're like, yeah, let's do Club Dread. It's like, yeah, let's do that one.
I love Club Dread. But if you are not familiar, it is an R-rated 2004 horror comedy, hour 44 runtime. It's got a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, 45 on TV Guide.
29 for real?
Yeah.
That's kind of low.
72% of Google users liked this movie. Now, I will say, this movie is very 2004.
Yes.
But because this is one of the first movies I ever just like went over to my friend's house and sat down and watched and was like, oh, it's the Super Troopers guys.
Yeah.
Cool. And we just watched it. I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, I loved it, man. I loved it for probably all the wrong reasons.
You said R-rated. I feel like this is like an NC-17 movie.
Oh, it's R-rated, right? Baby.
Do they make NC-17 anymore? Like, is that a thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, there used to be like X-rated, like NC-17. I don't know. When was the last like movie over R?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm just
like Google it.
I don't know. I don't want to.
You got a machine in your pocket that knows. I don't know.
I have someone at work that tells me to do that all the time. Like, I kind of like the mystery of not knowing and see if someone else knows.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather not know if someone else doesn't know. Fuck it.
Club Dread released February 27, 2004, directed by I'm going to butcher everybody's name that was in this and made it because they're difficult names to say.
We forgive you.
This is directed by J. Chandrasekhar. Yeah. J. Chandrasekhar. Sure. God, I think it is Race Car.
Are you serious?
Look, his last name is CHANDRASEKHAR.
So that's like a...
Raskar, maybe?
Raskar.
I don't know. Anyway, this made $7.6 million in the box office, distributed by Searchlight Pictures. Stars... Oh, motherfucker. J. Chandrasekhar, that guy that I was talking about a minute ago. Kevin Hefferman, there we go, got that one. Steve Lemmy, got it. Paul I did fuck it up. Paul Soder. And Eric Stolhansky. Also starring Bill Paxton, Jordan Ladd, Brittany Daniel, Richard Perillo, Elena Lyons, Lindsay Price, and Dan Montgomery Jr. It's the blowjob guy from the beginning is Dan Montgomery Jr. A fun piece of trivia. All right, now if you're wondering to yourself, what blowjob guy? Let's paint you a quick picture. Jackson, what would you say this is about without spoiling it for anybody that actually wants to turn this off and go watch it? But
yeah, so I would highly recommend, if you want to watch this movie and enjoy it and really get it like the first time.
This is one maybe pause this or
like
go
for
watch
real,
it first.
like
yeah.
we're gonna like ruin it. So you should probably go watch it before you listen to this podcast.
We're gonna get drunk and laugh at all the funny bits. Is what we're gonna do. We're gonna recall all the comedy together. It's a good time.
So this movie is like if Hugh Hefner decided to make a horror film. This is what a horror whodunit.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, kinda.
So here, sorry, I didn't paint the picture. I had a different picture in my head.
Quick summary.
So quick summary would be.
Fuck, did I miss that?
People go to vacation on this island.
Mm-hmm. Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island. And this island is awesome. It's like Margaritaville, but different because everybody's expecting adult things to happen.
That's funny. I think you mean Pina Colada-burg.
Pina Colada. So everybody's thinking, adult things are going to happen here. They're expecting that. And then the staff finds out there's a killer amongst them.
Ooh.
Or among the crowd that got brought in for vacation on the island.
Oh, yeah. They take like a cruise ship there.
Yeah.
And then they spend X amount of days on the island, and then they take a cruise ship back.
And then, then it's a whodunit. Like, oh, there's a murder mystery going on, and people are dying.
Pretty brutally, too.
Pretty brutally.
And all the time.
And you get to see the Super Trooper cops, like.
All the rest of the time, everybody's getting in some good zingers.
Yeah, there's a lot of good zingers.
So there's good stuff in here. You got, so we're going to go full tilt spoilers, fall spoilers for the rest of the, the thing, for the rest of the show, the podcast, until the half is over.
I kind of don't want to spoil this one, though, because I feel like...
Oh, well, let's not spoil the killer.
Okay.
Let's not spoil the killer.
I'll try not to. I won't.
Even by process of deduction, it only takes it down to like 4.
I know, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun not to know, because when I first watched this was one of those movies like, where's this going? I think I watched it without knowing that Broken Lizard, that group, was actually like making films.
They've got other movies. Have you seen Super Troopers 2? It's okay. It's not as good.
Yeah.
Have you seen Slammin' Salmon?
No, I've seen
It's not funny.
Beer Fest.
Yeah, hell yeah, I've seen Beer Fest.
I did Beer Fest. You did Beer Fest.
Yeah, we were both there, weren't we? Oh man, that was a wild time.
Man, that was a good time.
Yeah, let's see here. Okay, so anyway, back to the film. So they are in Pleasure Island, Costa Rica, and it shows all the people getting off the boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, first you get the cold open with the guy who's like, he's got 2 chicks in the jungle or whatever. Yeah. And then it goes back to, you get the Club Dread cold open. So the guy's like, oh, flip a coin, heads or tails. Anyway, he's gonna bang these 2 girls in there. She's like,
he's got 2 chicks in front of him.
She's like, heads, and then she's giving him head, and then she's like, what was tails? And he's like, you don't want to know. And I just kept thinking, I was like, that joke has aged really well because everybody's eating ass now. It's gross.
I mean, this movie is very sexualized.
Oh yeah, it's in like a comedy way.
Yeah, but like Hugh Hefner, who done it?
When she's
for real,
like, that girl leans up in his ear. She's like, I heard something, and he goes, was it a strange sucking sound? Like, dude, his fucking laugh kills me every time.
I laughed at when he was like, or she said like, when she licked his ear or something. He was like,
too waxy?
Yeah, is it too waxy? I was like, what? Like, it's like, who says that?
Yeah, just super, super silly shit. And then, like, before they even get to that part, this is all in the cold open. There's like five pretty in your face jump scares.
Yeah, they do a lot of jump scares at the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
I think they do that just to get your psyche into, like, I don't know, like in the jumpy mood, because they start to slow down afterwards.
Yeah. So this first interaction, this cold open, I want to talk about this cold open for a second, because it's a cool way to do it. It's not the only film to have done it, but what it's doing essentially is giving you a short film that takes place within the larger film.
Right.
It's 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes maybe.
Yep.
But there's even a final girl, and she's running, she's getting towards the cliff.
It's like,
and then the killer's there, and she loses her footing, and she reaches out to grab something. She grabs that fucking machete, and then like she's trying to hold on to it. Oh god, that is.
I feel like
really, really well done. Like the blood and the cut of it and everything. It looks very, very convincing. and also, just absolutely fucking brutal.
I feel like this scene could have been in the movie at any point, right?
Mhm.
They could have just put the scene anywhere, but they're like, this scene is so good.
This is the whole movie.
Let's put it at the beginning.
It's the idea. It's like a short film version of the whole movie as a cold open.
Yeah.
And then they go right back to people getting off the boat.
Yeah.
So it's like
1 hour earlier.
Yeah, 2 hours
something.
earlier or whatever it was.
So, yeah, it's a great first opening scene because they did it. Like, that scene could have fit quite literally anywhere in the movie. It's like, yeah, that works.
So when everybody's getting off the boat, I love this bit. It's like they're having all these bad interactions with the staff. Like the fun police guy's like,
fun police.
He's like, hey man, you got that bag of weed? And the guy's like, ooh, sorry, bro. Let me know when you score some more. And then you hear that like, and it does the slow pan in on that guy. Like, ooh, he could be the killer.
Yeah.
And then it just happens for everybody else.
Everybody else. It's like, whoa, what's going on there?
Oh man, I love that. I love that effect.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the sound design.
There's a lot of like intricate things that you probably like if you like in 2004 I wouldn't have thought of it at all.
No, it's the kind of stuff I notice now.
Now I'm like kind of picking it apart. I'm like, that's actually really good. It's like awesome. I don't know.
So you got Coconut Pete. It's Coconut Pete's Pleasure Island.
Yeah,
Coconut
by
Pete.
Bill Paxton.
Coconut Pete's played by Bill Paxton. That's right. And he is just fucking Jimmy Buffett, but somehow way more cheesy and horny.
No, but he's pissed off. No.
Oh, he hates Jimmy Buffett.
He hates Jimmy Buffett because he did his thing first.
Pina Colada Bird.
Yes.
I think you mean my song.
Because he gets really pissed off when someone brings up Margarita.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not playing that. Like,
Yeah,
he gets really sensitive about it.
They're playing by a campfire. And this drunk girl's like, wait, Margaritaville. And he's like, darling, I think you mean Pina Colada Bird. And she's like, no. Like, after he explains it, he's like, I fucking wrote that song first. She's like, no, you're like Jimmy Buffett. He's like, fucking hate Jimmy Buffett.
Dude,
man.
Bill Paxton, one of the greatest cameos I've seen him in.
It's not a cameo, it's a straight up role.
Yeah,
he's in like half the movie.
I feel like I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just like, it feels like a cameo because the crowd is the Super Trooper crowd.
This is the most fun thing I've ever seen Bill Paxton in.
Yeah.
Like, he is whoever this Coconut Pete guy is, this fictional Coconut Pete guy.
I want to hang out with that dude.
I bought it 100% that is Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
He did a great job for this weird fucking hack character who just wants to have sex with strangers and get drunk all day.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the R version of what Jimmy Buffett would be. Like Hugh Hefner, if he turned into Hugh Hefner and he's like, I went on an island.
If Hugh Hefner
was Jimmy Buffett.
Was Jimmy Buffett.
This is what you would get.
Yeah. Or if Jimmy Buffett had Hugh Hefner money and was sleazier, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, intro the crew. Your all the people that work there. I'm not saying their names again, but you've got Putman. I will say him one more time. Shit. You've got Jachin Raysker playing Putman. Kevin Heffernan playing Lars. Steve Lemmy playing Juan, Dive Master. Paul Soder playing Dave, the DJ. Eric Stolhansk playing Sam, the Fun Police, and Bill Paxton as Coconut Pete. Jordan Ladd as Penelope. I fucking almost said Penelope. Brittany Daniel as Jenny. Richard Perello as Cliff. Elena Lyons as Stay. Lindsay Price as You. And then Dan Montgomery Jr. is the blowjob guy.
Okay. Can I go through this and tell you how I remember each character?
Yes.
Because I first saw this after I watched Super Troopers when it first came out. And I didn't realize it was the same group when I first watched this.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, Lars, he's Farva. Rabbit, who's the rookie, he's the Fun Police.
Yep.
Juan, who was he?
Is it Rico?
Yeah, maybe it was...
I can't remember his name in Super Troopers.
Thorny? No. Thorny's the hippie guy, and
yeah,
He's with the
the
dreads.
tennis instructor. The tennis instructor
Yeah.
is Thorny.
So Paul Soder,
Yeah.
Carl
Hey.
Foster. Now I forgot. But anyway, Farva was Lars.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I remembered stuff. I was like, oh,
Yeah, they play other people in a different thing. Because some of them, I remember them from Beer Fest.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, yeah, shit, yeah, fuck yeah.
I think was Super Troopers first though.
It was...
I think it had to be.
It was Super Troopers, Club Dread, and then Beer Fest.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then Slam and Salmon, and that didn't go over very well.
I don't remember that one. So
It's not good. That's why you don't remember it, because it's pretty much like Beer Fest. Imagine Beer Fest, but the brewery that they live at, instead of being a brew house, it's a fish house.
oh, that's terrible.
It's just a fish
What a
restaurant.
terrible idea.
And kind of the same thing. There's not an international fishing
Is it just
competition or
ice
anything.
cold the entire time? Just frozen?
It's waiting meets the Schnitzengiggle Tavern. Schnitzengiggle Tavern. But the movie Waiting, it's that.
Okay. I'll watch it at some point just because I like that crew.
Yeah. I mean, if I recall, I think there might be a good joke or two in it, but I don't know. It's kind of doesn't have the same amount of heart in it, I
Right.
guess.
Right. They're probably like, oh, we've made our money.
So you meet all your main characters or whatever. They're the staff at this island resort. It's the only resort on the island.
Yep.
The
They're the
whole-
only people on the island.
They're the only people on the island. Is those staff, Coconut Pete, and the
Tourists,
guests.
yeah.
So intro the crew, and they've got this fucking board out back. It's like a duties board where people get stars and points. And
Yeah, it's like a
guess
big
this
kinda-
Coconut Pete song.
not as well. It's like a scoreboard, like if you're in the jungle, like at work.
Yeah.
At work in the jungle, it's a scoreboard. I don't know. That's okay.
Also notably on this board, there's the guess this Coconut Pete song, and then it'll have lyrics to a Coconut Pete song because that comes back into play story wise. But pretty much straight away you get the kill of the dishwasher.
Yeah,
He's gonna pick up trash or whatever.
He's a goner real quick.
Yeah.
And so they take the thing off the scoreboard after the killers killed a few people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they cross off the names of the people that have died,
Mm-hmm.
and they all had screwed this one chick.
Right. And they
It's
all
like somebody's jelly.
and they all think that it's this maniac that lives in the jungle called Machete Phil.
Yeah,
Started a campfire.
it's kind of terrifying.
And he's like, let me tell you the story about Machete Phil. He used to live on this island. He went fucking crazy. Killed all the staff, fucking cut off his own penis, and ran screaming into the jungle. And you can still hear him today. Where's my penis? Where's my penis? Where's my penis?
This
And then his
old
buddy,
folk story.
his buddy stands up and his pants drop and he's got his dick tucked between his legs. And he's like, that boy was me. And then after everybody has a laugh and runs off, they're like, come on, free drinks or whatever. Everybody runs off, and the other guy stands out. He's like, Putman, you fucking dick. Because he was going to do it. He was the one telling the whole story. You know what I mean? Good stuff. Good jokes.
Man, this makes me want to go on vacation without the murder part.
I could
I would
see
have had a
that.
good time, you know?
I could see that. Yeah, I could see this be appealing without
yeah.
murder.
Without-
You mean vacation. That's You just mean vacation is what you mean.
Well, I mean, this one. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it would be a cool spot. So they have the fun police guy. He makes sure that people are
Having fun.
playing games, enjoying themselves, getting wasted, or whatever.
Which is kind of a thing in Mexico. Like at the resorts.
Yeah, they have fun police.
Yeah, they're extra.
Ugh.
I mean, they're just extra. They're like, all right, this guy or this girl. It's like, all right, get out of my business a little bit. I'm just on vacation. But you recognize it because that's what they're there for. It's to get people kind of moving and stuff.
So sorry, I keep fucking yawning.
I'm fucking yawning, making me want to yawn.
I don't yawn all fucking night. I sit in
Danny,
here to
stop
talk. And I'm
yawning,
like,
man.
"Ugh."
I'm fucking putting them to sleep over here.
So the fun police has got him playing this weird Pac-Man game in a hedge maze.
Yeah.
How sick does that look?
That looked pretty awesome
It
as
looked
well.
pretty fun. It's while you're Pac-Man, you have to you run through there's music playing over the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
It's the Pac-Man music. So There's three
Hold
girls.
on, Danny. Explain Pac-Man.
Okay, Pac-Man. He's a little flappy mouth man,
Mm-hmm.
and he eats dots.
So he
And
chases these ghosts.
No, the ghosts chase him.
Oh, the ghosts chase him.
Until he gets the special. When the things flash, he gets a flashing dot.
Like he eats a thing.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the ghosts flash blue and white,
And he can eat them.
He can eat them. Yeah, exactly. So you got to.
I asked that because it's been a while since I've thought about Pac-Man as a story or even as a game. It's like, how does that fit in? And it's like, that would be super fun to actually play in a corn maze or something.
Yeah.
It's like, man, this would be awesome.
Sorry, bro. You're not boring me. I'm not tired. I just can't stop yawning. I slept like 5.5 hours last night. I don't even think that long, honestly. Anyway, yeah, so that's Pac-Man. But what they're doing is they're doing this shit in a hedge maze. And the guy has to fucking run and get these like balls, which is just like a grapefruit on a fucking tiki stand.
Mm-hmm.
It has like liquor in it, one should assume. And then the music changes, and then the three girls that are chasing him as the ghost, they take off their tops, and then he gets to chase him, and he's tickling him, or I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
maybe
an
he
adult
just,
place.
Maybe he just gets him, and they have to go back to the starting point in the corner. That's how it used to go. They go to the middle.
Right?
And then
Yeah.
they bounce
You go
around.
to the middle. Like, the ghosts go right back to the middle.
Yeah, so I guess... But either way, though...
I kind of want to play Pac-Man in real life right now.
That Pac-Man game of tag, it looks really fun.
Like...
I've got Pac-Man.
In the metaverse.
We could play...
That'd be pretty cool.
We could play Pac-Man after this.
No, but like in real life.
Oh, I don't...
Like how they're kind of do it, but like kind of like virtually maybe?
You
know what I mean? Like, that'd be a pretty cool virtual game.
That would be cool. That would
Bringing the oldies
cool.
back into the newies.
Hell yeah, into the newies.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling them. The newies.
I mean, we are the
ladies.
bridge here. I mean, we are the bridge of the pre-internet to internet.
We can do it. We can do it.
Bringing the oldies to the newies.
When they're like, because there's fruit in Pac-Man too, and there's not a pretzel. I don't
It makes you go faster.
Is there a pretzel? Yeah, it makes you go faster, but it gives you power up or whatever. But anyway, the pretzel's banging the watermelon, and the pear's the only one that's getting in the maze. He's like, hey. Sorry, he's like, I'm on break. He's like, sorry, man. Sacrifices you got to make, pear. And he was eating a pear at the same time, like just wearing a pear costume, eating a pear. Come on, it's hilarious.
It was. It was great. It's great comedy.
So he gets caught in the pear guy gets caught in the maze, and then he gets his belly slashed open, but it's obviously just the pear costume.
Right.
But it's guts and blood and guts and stuff inside of it. I just thought that's a really fun, like, noteworthy effect.
No, I loved it. I loved, like, because there was thought behind, like, it wasn't just random, you know? There was thought behind it, which was a funny thought behind a scary movie or whatever. Like, how do you make a joke out of a horror movie and keep it kind of funny?
Yeah,
they did that.
It's rare when they get one right in the pocket, you know what I mean? Like, the really, really good ones. So the staff figures it out. They've got a killer on their hands. The radios are smashed. The boats are sunk. One of them set out to sea. What do now?
Yeah, so don't tell the guests that they're trapped on an island.
Right. Yeah.
With the killer.
It's the played by the like enforcer type guy, played by MC Gainey. He's like the security dude. He's golden.
I believed in him the entire time. I was like, I believe in this guy.
He's gonna kill the killer.
He's gonna get him.
He's just gonna fucking cuss him, and he'll have a heart attack.
The guy was left-handed.
Hard as fuck. Yeah, didn't know the guy was fucking left-handed.
Damn, he knows.
That's ice cold.
It's like Dog the Bounty Hunter got trapped on an island. Like, he knows.
And just drunk.
He was drunk.
He's like, oh, you have never even been to war. He lifts up his shirt. He's got a gnarly scar. He's like, I stuffed my guts back in my pocket and walked 20 clicks in Nicaragua or whatever.
Yeah, he said something
just
ridiculous.
Hard as fuck, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. So he's like, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to tell the guests because then we'll have 1,500 maniacs on our hands. Right now, we just got one. So that's not too bad.
And the killer is only targeting staff.
Right, not guests. So they decide they're going to have like a luau night. And then the staff are going to like break in and check everybody's rooms.
Yeah.
And they get back and they're like, anything to report from the rooms? He's like, no, nothing. The guy in 14 had a wooden Bible.
It's like, he had a wooden Bible. That is weird.
And they write it down. They're like, okay, that's good. That's good.
That is actually weird.
That is, yeah. That's kind of red flaggy.
It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you brought that on a plane and you had to explain it, like, oh, it's just wood. It's just a wooden Bible.
See, I don't know what's more bizarre. Would it just be giant tablets, or would it be just a book with a wooden cover?
I mean, it had. I'm thinking I'm thinking tablets, like feathered in like tablets, like they're all wood.
That's fucking crazy.
It's like
man.
a small tree.
There's the bit when before MC Gainey gets fucking killed, the security guy.
Yeah.
When he's like, oh, the killer's walking up to him and he's like, there's always one fuckhead trying to shit in the apple pie. Well, you just shit in the one pie who knows how to shit back.
He completely missed his responsibility too.
Right.
Like, this is the guy you're looking for.
Just plug him.
And you're just like, oh, there's this guy. He's being a jerk off. Playing a joke. Just
calls him a fucking shithead. The one like, pie that knows how to shit back. I fucking love that. The jokes, a bunch of the jokes, like the jokey stuff that's in that. And there's a lot of it. It's a very jokey movie.
I wouldn't even say they're zingy because they are built. It's like a joke within a joke. Like the Pac-Man thing.
It's on point for me. There's some dated stuff in here. Like when the two guys are doing a chest bump and he's like, oh, don't be gay, bro. You know what I mean? Like that. Like that's very dated
that's 2000-ish.
stuff. And there's some of that in here. Yeah. He's like, dude, she's the new Amy Aerobics. Where he's like, oh, what happened to the old Amy Aerobics? I don't know. She died. Oh, man, how'd she die? She didn't die of a fat ass. I'll tell you that, bro. Those guys, hilarious. They're hilarious. They just are repeat offenders in the movie. They just pop up. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, the guy that is in the pool with the Joe Dirt girl.
What, Brandy?
Yeah.
Brandy from Joe Dirt?
That's how I remember people.
Yeah. Oh, it's so-and-so from that other movie.
Like,
do you think
he has a bunch of zingers? He's like, there's something in the water.
When you watch Django Unchained, were you like, that's Jack from Titanic?
No, that's Leo.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I mean, there's a certain level of character that you build, and like, all right, that's that person. Like they earned their actor spot almost within my head.
They earned that space. Now they're a household name.
Yeah, but if I've only seen you in one movie, it's like that's who you are for a minute.
They figure it out. They crack the code. It's about a Coconut Pete song from an album or whatever.
They play backwards.
And they're playing it. They're trying to get clues from this song or whatever. But the album, I just want to say, was called Sea Shanties and Wet Panties.
And Bill Paxton he's
like,
on
I don't even
point
remember.
for this.
I was doing so much LSD back then.
He was like, they're like, you don't remember
your only album from 78? He's like, I didn't even know I released an album in 78.
They said, you don't even know the lyrics to your own song? And he's like, I didn't know I released an album.
Yeah, he's like, I don't remember making the album. So.
It's like, man.
Yeah, Bill Paxton's a lot of fun in this, man. It's really cool to see him do.
It's kind of a shame, man. Not seeing him around, like, kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, big fan of Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
This is fun role for him. We should have got some more of this kind of lively stuff.
Yeah.
So the killings are linked to this fucking stupid song. Let's see here.
Yeah.
So now they decide they checked all the rooms on the island except for the staff's rooms.
Yeah.
So they decide to go check those out. And Lars has a super fucking creepy coconut.
So let's
Pete
talk about
shrine.
Lars for a second. Lars.
Yeah.
So Lars, aka Farva, in my language.
Yeah. It's English. I know what that means.
So he is this weird, like, medical Eastern medicine
he's
healer.
He's a massage therapist. Yoga
and he's
guy.
And he's into it, and he can, like, make girls orgasm by touching some point of their body, like, on their face.
Tang Chi. Yeah. Heaven point, or whatever he says.
So, like, he is an extra over-the-top nice guy that you suspect the entire time. It's like,
a little too nice.
A little too nice. It's like, you're a little too weird, man.
And he's got those swords and shit, because he's doing, like, I don't know, like, yoga with swords. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. But he has this shrine
Big Coconut Pete Shrine. Really creepy, really serial killery. So they're like, oh, what the fuck, man? They lock him up. And
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
put
all
him
right,
in
yeah, if nobody
It's
dies
kind of
or
a shitty
whatever.
move, though. Like,
Mhm.
if you're gonna lock me up, why doesn't everybody get locked in their own room? Like,
Right.
then you'd find out real quick. Like, who the weird one was. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting locked in. But, like, they lock him in a room with a deadbolt or whatever.
Right.
He's like, have you ever heard the term sitting duck? He's like, no.
Yeah. So they get him locked in there. Somebody else dies or somebody else gets attacked. I don't exactly remember what happens. Doesn't matter. They decide to go let Lars out, but he's already escaped.
He's already escaped.
So even more evidence to point that it should be Lars.
One of my favorite scenes in this, not favorite, but like
Mhm.
one of the good scenes that I think of was when Juan has this chick. So Juan's like this over sexualized dude that's on this island that
Yeah.
bangs all the tourists, basically.
Yeah.
And then he gets this one chick comes up to him and is like, "Hey, wanna walk down the beach with me?" And he's like, in this moment, he's scared. Like he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know who the killer
He's
is.
like, he knows there's a killer. He looks down the beach. It's really dark
It's
and
really
quiet
dark
down there. And he's like, it is good here,
It's good
you
here.
know?
Like this dude is shook the entire time. So he's like, all right, I think it might be this chick that just asked me to do this because he ran
Yeah.
away from this girl.
Yeah, sure did.
So like he ran away and then like all right, who do you think it is? And like it might be this chick.
She even has a confession to make.
Yeah. So
I just tried to run away from my old life, but
So-
I can't hide it.
let's bring her to my room, figure it out.
She's an Olympic gold medalist gymnast.
And
In that moment,
3 of the other staffers are in the closet watching.
all of his fears are dissolved
because
if
he
you
couldn't
notice.
because he could not go through this on his own. He had to make sure that he was protected. He's like,
Right.
you guys got to be in the closet to watch, make sure she's not a killer.
Yeah.
So
So he's banging her forever. She gets up and goes to the bathroom, and he's like, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure yet.
Need a few more hours to bump her for information.
he's got this really Latino accent, like he's
that guy in particular. If you look at his roles from fucking
yeah,
this to Super Troopers to Beer Fest,
Yeah.
wow, man, he's got some range. He can
He
do some
does.
different stuff as long as it's fucking silly and
it's
he's
silly.
having
It
fun.
has to be silly.
He's into it, man. It's good stuff.
I mean, he's the guy on
good
Super
at it.
Troopers that we going to Mexico, boys. Woo!
Yeah. Yep. And then he's the fucking nerdy. He's the fucking nerd guy in Beer Fest.
Yeah, what a-
Dr. Finkelstein.
and that's what
Oh,
I kind
hi,
of
Jerry.
I really love about this crew, like this group in general, is like they're not the same. They don't play the same character
No.
movie to movie, and it's like, oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. It's just that they're a refreshing bunch. I wish they had more hits, to be honest with you. So there's a bit. I'm gonna fast forward a bit.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking
there's
for a minute.
there's a bit where Putman is he's the killer's coming at him, and they've handcuffed him to the bed and lost the key.
Yeah.
Do you remember that bit? And he's like, "Hand me my racket." And he's just hitting tennis balls at the killer, who's like walking super slow.
Yeah.
And then there's a bit when he hits him in the balls, and it's like ting.
So the killer in this movie does he does a Jason walk.
And when he hits him in the balls, and it goes ting, he goes, "Machete Phil, I knew it was you."
And he fully dies knowing that it was Machete.
Mhm. Yeah. And they're like, what are we going to do? Because the killer's like, just do your jobs and everybody will survive. So that's what
don't
they're...
tell the tourists, whatever.
Yeah, just do your jobs. You'll get out of here alive. And they're like, all right, well, what are we going to do? It's fucking Saturday night or whatever. We got to throw a fucking huge party. That's what we got to do.
Yeah, and then they start to go to the beer fountain, and it turns out to be blood, and it's gross.
The blood fountain.
Super gross.
It's not a beer fountain. It's a God, what is it called? Well, you can drink beer from it. It's a shot slide. Yeah, shot slide. You ever done one of those?
Yeah. It's been a while. But
Yeah, it has been a while. I did one of those back in the day. It was
back in the day.
it was pretty gross because like everybody put
Everybody
their mouth
else
on
put
it.
their damn
yeah.
mouth on it.
Yeah, I
It
was in
gross as
college. I was
shit.
super wasted though. So I was like,
nobody
yeah, fucking
like when you're that age, like nobody gives a shit. It's like just do it.
So what do you think of the Putman stuff? Here's what I'm gonna say. The next part is the reveal, and then they run away from the reveal, and they have to get away like very Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
style.
So like if we're gonna reveal after this,
No, we're not going to reveal.
oh, we're not. Okay.
That's the rest of the movie. Here's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
I just want to go like through the film. I want to pick out the characters and see like kind of what you thought of each character.
Okay. Yeah.
What did you think of Putman, the
Funny.
tennis instructor?
I didn't think much of him.
You're supposed to not like. You're supposed to not like him.
I didn't think much of him. It was like,
I do like.
I gave him very little attention, so that is
Yeah.
me not liking him. I'm
Right.
Like, whatever.
I do like the scene where he has that weird dream, where he's like, "Oh, the killer's coming after him." It takes off the mask and it's him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "It's you," and he's like, "Come on, give us a kiss." And he makes out with himself. Super fucking weird.
And then he wakes up and Farva in front of him, and then he just runs off into the woods.
Yeah, he does. He
It's
freaks
like
out. And runs off into
exactly
the woods.
what happens in his dream. He just runs off. It's like,
Yep.
bro, are you dumb? It's like-
Right.
But he's super like he wants to be overly nice, but he's also overly kind of creepy. It's like, bro, like pull back some.
He's a little bit of a dick too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How about Farva? How about Lars? Yeah.
Pleasant surprise as a character, honestly.
It's one of the like when the movie opens, I'm like, oh man.
Kind of hate him.
Like first time I'd seen
Kinda
this.
hate him.
First time I'd seen this, being a fan of Super Troopers, I saw him get off the boat and I was like, oh, it's Farva. And I'm like, well, he's got a weird
It's
ponytail
like,
wig. And
what
he's
is
like,
going on
"What the
here?
fuck, I hate this. But giving it time to fucking marinate,
Yeah.
I like him as that character. Like
he
it's
fits
funny
it.
that it's him.
If you were to only watch this movie and know him only from this movie, you'd be like, yeah, Lars.
Sure, whatever. Yeah. How about Juan?
Juan was awesome. For one, when they're in the scene and they're like, who done it kind of thing, and like, oh, they're pulling up like the staff's history.
Oh my god!
And they're like, you're in Costa Rican jail. That's pretty hardcore, dude.
You're in Costa Rican prison. What the fuck?
And like everybody, he's like, no, I'm not gonna say what, you know. And like they're trying to get it out of him. He's like, they think he's a killer, so he's like, all right, I gotta say this.
He's gotta fess up.
He's like, all right, guys, I went to jail because I fucked a goat.
Yeah, he's like, I fucked that goat.
Yeah, he has a great accent.
Really thick accent. It's delightful. Yeah, so that's what he was locked up. Everybody's like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you could have killed somebody. It might
she
have
was
been
a
better.
beautiful soul.
It might have been better. It might have been better if you just said you killed somebody. But it was hilarious the way he set it up.
Yeah, I liked his whole thing. He was laying it on real thick, and it was working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just worked out.
Like all the jokes were really set up even within this scene. Like,
What do you think about Brandy? I forgot her name in this.
yeah, Brandy.
The one
Joe Dirt
the one woman
girl.
that's in it besides Penelope.
Penelope. Brandy she was good.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I mean, she was good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I got.
yeah, it was fine. She didn't get to do a whole lot of jokey
No,
stuff.
it wasn't. She did her part, I guess, as far as the movie goes. Like, she didn't have a chance to maybe like show her range. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think one of the funniest people in it is the DJ.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He was hilarious in Super Troopers too.
Yeah, what is he? In
He's the
Super
fishing
Troopers?
guy. That's what I think of him.
He's not Rabbit. He's the cop that starts having sex with the police officer.
Yeah, on
he's
the
the
other
sheriff that starts having sex with the police officer.
On the other side,
Mhm.
yeah, he's the redhead guy. Is it redhead?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's a redhead guy. And curly hair.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's the DJ.
he's just doing a bunch of ecstasy, spinning records all the time. He's super fucking high. He's like, hey, how about you give me one of those drinks or whatever? She's like, they're so spoken for. He's like, fucking bitch. Slow motion. He's like, fucking bitch. And it's that wah, like maybe he's the killer. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, very funny stuff with him. Thought he's, I would say great casting, but if these guys make a movie, these are the people that are going to be in
Yeah.
it. So
It's like if Adam Sandler had a crew, well, which he kind of does.
he
but
does.
These guys started from the very beginning, with like together.
What do you think about Fun Police?
So he was Rabbit in Super Troopers,
Mhm.
and he was over the top, like completely different character in this movie.
He's real cocky.
He's real cocky, and he's the fun police.
Except for that guy that stole his bag of grass.
Yeah,
That's not fun. He's
not fun.
He's not liking that. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's and then Bill Paxton is Coconut
Bill Paxton's
Pete.
perfect for I mean, what a great actor, dude. Like,
Right.
seriously, it's like, man, that's range.
Yeah, yeah. The if you're not into like the 2004's comedy thing or whatever, it is cool just to see Bill Paxton play Coconut Pete.
Yeah.
Because it's a different role than what he normally plays, and he's in quite a bit of the movie, and he's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's very
It's
funny.
like when he gets pissed off at that.
He's a little
He
sensitive.
gets fucking pissed off at that girl about the fucking
song?
Margaritaville thing.
Yeah.
And he walks off, and his buddy's like, "All right, come on, let's get you out of here." He's like, "Motherfucker, son of a bitch!"
It's like, this happens all the time.
Yeah,
Thought
dude, he's
process.
so fucking mad. Ah.
And there's another scene I can't remember where he's kind of like that, where he's very sensitive to something. He's like, "Nope." He's like, "Nope." I don't remember what it was, but it was funny.
We're not gonna spoil it. We're not gonna spoil the rest of it.
Because so I will say about this movie is
a fun stabby.
when
Oh.
when you know the killer,
Mhm.
it's not as good. I don't know. It's good, but it's like the first time you watch it, it's the best.
Come for the mystery, stay for the jokes.
Yes.
Yeah. Good stabby,
Yeah.
good stabby horror, fun, light thing to watch.
Murder mystery.
Yeah, probably not for your kids though. Obviously.
Yeah, don't do that. This is very
or,
NC-17.
Whatever, man. You do whatever you want with your kids. Or
No,
your
no,
kids.
do not let them watch this.
Yeah, I would say probably not. Not for me, not for my kids, but whatever. There's an age limit for things, you know.
Yeah, there's a definite age limit on this one. Yeah.
So, how many machete thumbs
Machete.
would you give this out of 10?
You know how sharp
Is that
those
10
would
for
be?
you? Yeah, they're very
Just
difficult to
imagine.
wield.
Just-
10 big old fat machete thumbs.
I would give this 8 machete thumbs.
8 machete thumbs.
Sharp though.
I like it.
It'd be very
I
sharp.
Like it. I think I'm just going to echo that and also go 8
Nice.
machete thumbs. Just a good fun flick. I mean, I knew it was when I picked it, but it's not very often. It's not very often we watch something that I would consider to be like, since 2004 happened, I would consider this to be a heavy rotation film for me because I watch it probably every couple years.
Yeah. I hadn't watched it in a long while. So, but I knew who the killer was, so I was like,
Bummer.
yeah, I was like, it kind of ruined the mystery part of it. Like, there's, like, I always thought like this movie was great because it had the jokes within the kind of the scary setting, and they set them up well. And then like after you take the mystery out, it kind of takes away from the jokes too.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, yeah, that's it. That's gonna do it for the first half of the show. That's 80% thumbs for Club Dread.
Club Dread. I bet you guys haven't even heard of that.
Some people probably. I think probably most of our audience is about our age, however old that might be. We're gonna go watch another vacation type slasher stabby thing at the recommendation of good Mr. Wicker, good Mr. Doug Wicker. Because I was like, hey, what should I pair with this? And he's like, well, I got a couple options for you, A, B, or C. We're going to go watch Tourist Trap. So we will be back. Here's a little bit of heavy metal music, and
Heavy metal.
We'll be right back.
We're gonna get up in it, boy.
We're back. We watched Tourist Trap. Oh, fucking, what was that?
Well, Danny, I will never watch that movie again. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah. So
I'm uncomfortable.
I gotta tell you, man. So Tourist Trap is a 1979 horror slasher, 1 hour 30-minute runtime. We rented it on Prime. It's got a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.8 out of 5 on Shudder. 87% of Google users like this movie. Release date March 14th, 1979. Directed by David Schmoller. Music by Pino Donaggio. Yeah, Pino Donaggio. Budget $350,000. Stars Chuck Connors, Tanya Roberts, Jocelyn Jones, Dawn Jeffrey, Robin Sherwood, John Van Ness, and Victoria Reichert.
Yep. Sure does.
So, a couple of things about Tourist Trap.
Where do you want to start?
It starts innocent enough, and it's kind of schlocky and shit. But I gotta tell you, 45 minutes into this, or maybe an hour into it, there's a bit that gets rather uncomfortable. And then that it like stays at that level of like, actually, this would be quite terrifying.
Yeah, me and Danny started talking like, all right, imagine if you were in the 1970s and you're imagining going on a vacation and you had just watched this damn movie.
Taking your best girl to the drive-in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This movie is in 20... whatever we're in. 22. I don't want to like date ourselves.
Here's what's going to fuck your world up. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
About to drop a bomb on you. It's rated PG.
Nah.
Yep.
This is rated PG.
Didn't show it on Google. I had to look it up on Rotten Tomatoes.
They need to rewrite that because this movie is terrifying for me as an adult. It is uncomfortable.
There is like torture in this.
It's uncomfortable.
That is uncomfortable torture. Yeah. And it like here's the thing is this thing from 1979. When you go to the one of the opening scenes where there's a guy and he's like, puppets,
Yeah, it's like, haha, that's gonna be dumb.
This is silly.
This is one of those movies that, whatever.
Yeah, just real dumb character choices and stuff like that. And then it escalates into this thing that is wholly more horrifying.
It escalates into this Buffalo Bill.
So briefly,
fantasy.
what would you say this is about, Jackson?
This is about a psychopath killer that has killed a lot of people and turned them into wax, and then he lives among the wax people.
No, they're like dolls. I don't think they're wax.
I think they're wax and they can only move their eyes.
I don't think they're wax.
They're like mannequins.
Yeah, they are mannequins.
So mannequin wax.
I couldn't think of the word mannequins. I couldn't, man,
again.
Points. All right. So what would you say this is about? Yeah, you said we've determined mannequins.
Like it's a Buffalo Bill dude that is pretty crazy, turns people into mannequins in a very claustrophobic, torturous way, and then that's all I remember, man. I'm terrified.
Okay, so some people are on vacation. They stop at a tourist trap. It's got.
Okay, you're gonna explain it way better than me. Yes.
Yeah, it's good. I got you. Don't worry about it. It's got signs, and it's like, room and board, cold drinks, whatever. I can't remember the name of the place itself.
No idea.
Anyway, they go there and they meet the owner guy, and he's nice enough. He's very jovial and fun and having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly but surely, they start getting killed by these puppet mannequin dolls or whatever. And then it's revealed that there's an actual murderer.
Yeah, and the murderer controls these dolls with his eyes or mental telepathy
yeah, that
or something.
was one thing I was a little fuzzy on. Maybe I missed because we were having a chat. We were still catching up, while we're watching it. And we missed a bit of dialogue in the beginning, and I'm wondering if he covered that or...
Maybe. But he was controlling, he was a puppet master to an extent.
Yeah.
He was controlling all the mannequins that were in the house. The mannequin eyes would start to move and follow somebody.
Oh, yeah.
It got really creepy. It's the level of creepiness, just escalated.
Yeah. So what'd you think about... Okay, so here's the spoiler is the sweet old man that owns the place is actually the murderous puppet master man.
Yeah, and he says he has a brother.
He says he has a brother.
And then he lets them run away. And then he catches them.
Yeah.
Again. Whoa, dude.
Yeah, he is fucking sick. So anyway, that's the big spoiler.
I gotta shake this off of me right now, man.
There are some I wouldn't even necessarily say the way that it's shot, but that bit when he's plastering that girl's face,
it's uncomfortable.
That is
it's claustrophobic.
Yeah, it does induce those feelings.
Okay, hold on. Let me stretch real quick.
Okay,
go ahead and explain.
Well, I'm gonna back up a bit, but I want to get there. So a couple of things I want to pick apart. So number one, what did you think of the puppet mask? When he's dressed up like the lady or whatever, and he's wearing that mask.
So he wears a few different masks. He wears an Asian mask, what's the dolls or what they dress up as? I can't remember. Anyway,
geishas.
Okay, he has one of those masks. He has an Elvis mask.
Mm-hmm.
He has a few different masks they're all kind of terrifying because he has the same weird undertone voice underneath all of them.
Well, yeah, he does
Like,
have a.
ugh.
He's got a creepy. He's kind of doing the thing Christian Bale does for Batman,
But
but
in a murderous way.
creepier. Yeah, in a much more sure of himself.
Like, I feel
sound.
like this guy might have been a psychopath, like in real life. Like whoever played this guy, like I'm genuinely like concerned.
That would be,
Or whoever the director was. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
that would be Chuck Connors.
All right, Chuck, did you kill anybody lately? Because it's weird. Like you fit the role a little too well. This is all I'm saying.
Man, yeah, there is a section of this that is largely really creepy, and I'm not the guy that's like, do I like dolls? No. Am I
No.
afraid of dolls? Also, no. I'm a grown man.
Yeah, me and you at the beginning, like we were kind of just like chatting because nothing in the very beginning
Nothing
of the movie
really-
was very
nothing really
interesting. It's
crazy
like,
happening or very compelling.
mannequins. Okay, it's gonna be a wax type
Yeah.
movie, whatever.
Until the first guy gets murdered.
yeah,
Which, one thing that I hadn't thought about is that guy that gets murdered up top, he's in the rest of the movie. He's a doll. That's the reveal at the end when he like pops
When he
his arm
looks-
off.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pops his arm off and pops his head off. So he was the first.
This movie is truly a terrifying. Don't watch this movie. Like,
No,
I'm not
you
a
can
big.
watch it. Here's what this is for. This is not for a casual horror fan. I don't think. I think conceptually this might fuck you up if
Like,
you're
I
not
wanted
into
to hold
horror
on to Danny
movies.
for a little bit.
I wanted to like get a blankie genuinely for part of it because I'm like, this fucking, maybe it's just me and the few things that I am like truly scared of.
Yeah.
Being suffocated is pretty fucking high on the list.
And having someone explain the suffocation process is like, ugh,
okay, so
stop.
let's fast forward to that. So he gets this girl and he's got everybody else chained up and tied up and shit. And he's got this girl and he's got her fucking strapped down and she's crying like, please don't do this. And he straps her head down. He's like
a mental patient straps her head
Yeah.
down with a belt around her forehead.
oh, and he is straight up like, here's what's going to happen. And he's telling her what he's doing while he's doing it. You can like, he's describing, he's like, right after I cover your mouth, you're going to start to panic. Because he's putting this plaster on her.
Yeah,
and
this
he's
plaster.
like, oh, the plaster is like burn your skin once it starts to cure.
And one
all
of the
this
things that
other
he says
stuff.
at the very beginning, he goes, "You're not gonna die
He's like, you'll
of
die
death
of
or
fright
you'll
first.
die of fright first." I was like, okay, that's a weird thing to say. And then he starts to explain it, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
While he's doing it. Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty
okay,
fucked up.
This is weird.
Yeah, super claustrophobic. So he's covering her in this plaster, and he's like, your face is fucking burning or whatever. And he's like, now I'm gonna cover in your cheeks, and you're gonna look like a burn victim when this is all done, but you're gonna make a beautiful mask.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm gonna cover your mouth, and you're gonna start to panic, and then you're gonna start to hyperventilate, which she does. And then her breathing finally like slows to a crawl. He covers up her eyes, covers up her nose.
Oh, see, I'm uncomfortable even you explaining
me
this
just
shit.
even saying it.
I'm like,
yeah, right.
You quit it, Danny.
It's an uncomfortable thing to behold, and acted so well because you've got this super creepy guy, pretty creepy, good-looking doll mask.
Yeah. It's not bad for 78, 79,
Good
whatever.
looking's a stretch, but
You get it.
it looks like a mask someone made.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
Looks like
a
a silly-
Hollywood production team spent $10,000 on making a realistic mask.
Looks like a real killer would be like, yeah, this works.
Yeah, I love this shit. I love that for me. So he's very creepy. He's describing it in a creepy way. And even though I'm pretty sure it's just like dough from bread or whatever, it just looks like bread
It
dough.
might be like cake batter.
Looks like biscuit dough is what it looks like to me. But he's putting this biscuit dough on her face and her acting of like going through a seizure and shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, I say good stuff. I mean, it's unsettling.
Unsettling, but great acting. and-
Received. What you
Yeah.
were going for, I got it.
Yeah, and it was truly like, I'm uncomfortable that you got it.
Nailed
Like,
it. Absolutely
you guys
nailed
are
it.
fucking weird for doing that.
Yeah, nailed it. If your objective was to make me genuinely scared and uncomfortable, fucking nailed it.
Weirdos.
And then conceptually, the further you take this guy, this crazed killer, now you know what he's about. The rest of the movie, the stakes are fucking through the roof.
It is. It gets weird and gross.
Yeah, it does.
Like, so I don't know how so this one chick is isolated. Like, her friends are gone,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just hanging out by the bar. She's waiting on them to come back or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But then like he gets her. I don't remember how he got her.
He just comes and gets
He
her.
just controls everything in that house.
He doesn't like hit her or hurt her or
No.
anything.
He controls like things with his mind. Like with
Seems that way. Yeah.
like he shuts doors and stuff. And he like moves the eyes of the mannequins.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
they very well may have explained it, but for whatever reason, I just did not get it. So.
But he gets this last girl and he puts her on the bed.
Ooh,
It was one of the creepier scenes I've seen in a while.
pretty gross. He puts his wife's death mask on
The
that girl, and
he's
he's like, "Yeah,
you're special."
You remember my wife? Oh god.
Oh, dude, I didn't want to talk about this. Like I'm. All right, let's move on to a different movie or something. I don't know.
No, we can't. We still got. We got to give it like, I don't know, give it like 5 more minutes. So some of the casting, all right, like Jock Guy, I don't understand a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah, he was
Because why would you put him through the torture if he's a puppet? I guess because you want to play with him.
You want to play with?
You want to play with the people.
It works if you think about it at the very end.
Yeah.
It's like, that works. That works. They
Yeah.
fucked him.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy, man. There's like they make so many layers to the bad guy. He's got so many fucking layers of psychosis wrapped on top of each other. Hey, he's fascinating.
And I can only think of like once it started getting scary for me and personally, I was like, how terrifying would this be in 1978 or 79 or whatever?
79, yeah.
How like you're in your cars and like you don't want to fly nowhere, like everything's scary outside of where you're at.
This
It's
would
like,
be the equivalent of if you had corn and you went and watched Children of the Corn and then went home and reaped all your corn.
I mean, Children of the Corn was a scary ass movie. So.
Yeah, well, it was scary as shit back when it
there's
came
like
out.
14 of them, but
Yeah, we were just talking about the first one. So yeah, man, I like this the bit where he's talking about his brother the whole time, and you're like, oh shit, maybe his brother's the killer. That's fucking crazy, because he controls that other puppet that looks just like him as the killer or whatever.
yeah, and he starts to explain like he's like, oh, I have a brother. He's dead though, and so is my wife.
Yeah,
because they had an affair behind my back, and he's like, oh,
so he killed the brother and he killed his wife,
And
but now
they're-
he's trying to like bring his wife back via this weird doll
Girl.
thing. Yeah,
like
oof.
weird, man.
Man, just really needed some a rebound, I guess.
I need a drink.
Yeah, I guess so.
Salute.
Oh yeah, here we go. There we
Good
go.
to see you for like a month and a half. We haven't
Yeah.
talked about fishing.
No, we haven't. I actually went fishing in that time. We'll talk about it here shortly. All right, man. So here's what I want to know, Jackson. Reviews for this aren't good. They're very middling, if anything.
Yeah.
So what I would like to know is, if you were going to make this a more profitable film, this is a Charles Band production, but if you were going to make this a more profitable film and make it more interesting, what would you do?
I don't know, man. This movie.
Man,
Like-
for me, the only things I would
The
change are
beginning-
all in the front half.
Yeah, the beginning. You gotta hook us a little more because I
Which-
was not interested. I was not interested at all in like
none of the
first 30
characters are
minutes.
really interesting. It just kind of starts.
Yeah, it's like okay.
You know what I mean? You don't get any development. You don't get any backstory with anybody. You're not invested in any one of these characters for the first like 40 minutes.
You're not hooked on the movie. Like you're just watching whatever. I don't know. It's just not interesting at the beginning.
The only guy you're invested in is the main guy, the bad guy,
Yep.
the killer. When he walks up on those girls swimming in that pool.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Look at this fucking
This
creeper.
fucking weirdo.
You girls wouldn't happen to have any pussy, would you?
He's weird.
He's got a shotgun. You know, he's like, oh, mine no.
I
never
forgot that
mind,
was
no.
him.
Mhm.
Holy shit. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, and then he takes him to the tourist trap.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, because he's like, I used to charge people to swim down
Yeah,
here.
75 cents a day to swim in this swimming hole.
Yeah.
And it had his double barrel shotgun on
That's
him. He's
pretty,
like,
that's pretty fucking reasonable for 78.
I don't know, it might be expensive. I mean,
I
he
don't think
doesn't
so.
own water.
It'd be like now
So
if it was
fuck
like,
him.
oh
I'll
yeah,
swim in this hole anytime I want.
well, if it's a lake.
Oh. Well, I think it was a river, a creek. I don't know.
Whatever it is.
I just know the law.
Anyway,
I was like, I'll swim wherever I want.
Assuming it's a body of water he owns. He's like, he used to charge people for this. Well, if you get to that spot via something that's on his property,
You're trespassing.
Yeah, all that tracks. But he's like, I don't charge anymore, though. We used to have 14 or 15 people down here every day.
Yeah, oh man. You just explaining this right now is like weirding me out because I didn't realize it. I didn't realize he was the guy. Now I'm like, oh shit, he was the guy.
You don't realize it until like the end of the movie.
Yeah, this movie's terrifying.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But if you can suspend disbelief to actually get into the story and get through the first 30 minutes, man, this is pretty fucking chilling. Gets pretty fucking chilling. Yeah, I would say so. This is like the like, remember how when Saw came out, everybody's like, oh my god, you know when that girl falls in that fucking pit of needles?
Yeah.
Or maybe Saw 2, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, one of those.
Or the girl falls in the needles and everybody goes, ugh. This was an example of a movie that definitely did that.
There was 2 scenes in particular. I'm like, ugh. I want to get out of here, Danny.
Pretty gross. Pretty gross. Even when towards the end of the movie when she axes that dude like in the neck.
Yeah, it's like Stanley Kubrick-esque because like the scenes are slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're trying. Like at first I thought they were just trying to be artsy.
There's a feeling for the whole movie like, is this supernatural?
Yeah,
but it's not.
Well, the guy's kind of supernatural.
Maybe.
No, he definitely is because he has superhuman strength.
Did he say he was like that's
I don't know, but he threw a dude off his back.
Off his back, like
he was laying on his back and he threw him against the wall.
Yeah,
so
he just fucking launched his ass.
And then he was moving mannequin eyes with his own eyes, so something weird was going on.
Well, he wasn't moving. Turns out that the mannequins are alive.
They're alive. Yeah,
well, I guess that's
the worst part about this.
Through supernatural through supernatural ways, I guess, because they can't open their mouths, so
they can only see.
Them. They can't shit, and one of them's got a dented nipple.
Yeah, she's falling over.
Some of them can open their mouths though, because they fucking sing and shit. That bit where they sing, they're like hovering around that girl. They get all around her and they're singing and falling on her.
This might be the most unsettling movie I've seen in a long fucking time.
And it's from 1979.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
crazy.
Never watching this shit
That's
again.
crazy. Some movies conceptually aren't that good or scary, but the way the movie is put together is not good or scary, but the concept itself is the part that fucking terrifies me.
Once you're in it, like once they pull you into like, here is this actual story. Here's what we wanted to get you to.
Now, I'm not a horror buff. I like the horror genre. I like it a lot more than I used to since we started doing this podcast. It gives me a lot more reason to check more stuff out.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge horror fanatic or whatever. I do like horror movies. However, I'll be like, I was thinking last Halloween about this because we do, the Ween. This is an episode of the Ween, our Halloween content with Ween. It's a Wiener joke. You get it.
Yeah, the Ween.
Yeah, you get it. You
come on.
You get on the Ween. So the Ween, get it up, you. So I thought about this last year. I was like, man, what's a movie that genuinely fucking scared me? It was a movie called Oculus. Wasn't that good, but the concept of it's a haunted mirror that like traps you in a mirror dimension where you don't know what's real.
I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. The movie was okay. It was kind of like,
but like it opened a part of your brain
like that was like
sci-fi. That could possibly happen. Oh wow.
Well, no, it was very sci-fi horror, but I experimented with drugs when I was younger, plenty of them.
Yeah.
And that feeling of not knowing what's real is a real feeling that I've had before, and it's very scary.
Yeah.
So just that concept of that being part of how the movie worked was like fucking fucked my shit up.
I need to figure this out real quick.
I was not into it. Like, it's the only scary movie that I have watched since I was a fucking child that gave me fucking nightmares. And this movie gave me that same vibe. Like, God, this is a fucking creepy ass prospect. And it doesn't look terrible. Like
It doesn't
it
look
looks
terrible.
like it was made in 1979.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm saying. Like you got to just let that bit go.
In the first 20, 30 minutes, you got to get through.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it
more
doesn't
like-
hook
it's-
you, but like if you wait through that, you're in for
It's
it.
easily 30 minutes too. It is a real slow start.
The movie for me that like when I was growing up that really terrified me was Friday the 13th. No, not Friday. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people.
I had nightmares. I mean, quite literally, like that movie gave me nightmares.
You know what did it for me? A movie that's not a horror movie, The Dark Crystal.
What's that?
It's like a Jim Henson production. It's like a dark puppet. There's puppets,
Okay.
and they're just fucking creepy and oily looking and fucking greasy and
I've
gross.
never seen it. I don't know.
And for whatever reason, loving horror as a kid, I watched fucking Beetlejuice and Poltergeist.
Yeah.
I loved that shit.
Yeah.
Loved it. People Under the Stairs. I loved all those movies. And then I watched this fucking movie about puppets from Jim Henson, and it would give me fucking nightmares because the bird puppets, I think they're called the Skeksis, just fucking creepy looking, and they would pop up in my nightmares, and I'd be like, oh my god, they're real.
There's certain like I think genres of horror that are I don't know, like in everybody's individual psyche at some level. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna scare you to this point
What
because
speaks
whatever.
to some people won't speak to everybody.
Right.
Yeah, part of the idea can be what's scary. And this does a really good job,
It's
man.
unsettling
It's really
as
fun.
hell.
It just something in the front. I need some
Need a hook bait.
story. Yeah, I need something.
Like
all right,
make me care. Like
Cabin in the Woods. You seen Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, it's a great
Okay,
movie.
the first 10 minutes of Cabin in the Woods, you get an introduction to all the characters. You kind of learn what their character types are. They all meet up. They
they go to
give
the
each
cabin.
other shit. So you can kind of tell where the
like
hierarchy is.
Yeah.
They get in the car and they go to the thing.
Yep. They could have done
Just
that.
Just give me a little bit of that.
Just an opening.
Yeah.
Just
This
make,
just
just
kinda-
make me care just a little bit.
This just kind of kicks off and goes. And then the
I
guy
mean,
gets murdered.
I honestly
and
don't
then-
even remember the first part of it. Now that
Yeah.
I'm like trying to think of it, I'm
Well,
like,
there was a really long intro, like that weird music.
yeah, it was a
That
lot of
super weird music at the
piano and
beginning.
orchestra behind it. It was
Yeah,
weird.
what did it say like on the subtitles? It popped up and said like quirky music or something like
It
that.
was,
I don't
yeah,
know.
it was very.
It seemed really
Yeah.
out of place, but now having watched the movie, that intro music makes a lot more
It's
sense.
a lot more terrifying. Actually.
Yeah, for sure. It's fucking insane that this is rated PG-13. This is hard R, in my opinion.
I would not watch this until I was 30.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I would maybe wait a different amount of time. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows such things? Yeah, pleasant surprise. Good recommendation. To pair it with
Wicker, I don't know, man.
to pair it with the other movie.
That
we
one
watched.
kind of fucks me up.
I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it, man. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do this show for,
Yeah.
because like I don't like watching bad movies. I don't like watching like movies that are just
They're
bad.
just bad in general.
Yeah, nobody wants to waste
You
their
want to
time.
watch a
but I
fun
tell you
bad
what I
movie
do
or
like.
a bad movie that's like, oh wow, that's actually kind of good.
I do like making fun of shit, like hanging out with my friends. I like having a couple of beers, but also I like a hidden gem, and I think
This is a hidden gem.
this is a hidden gem. This Halloween, if you have never seen Tourist Trap, and you want to snuggle up with your old lady and genuinely make her fucking uncomfortable, and yourself,
Yeah,
this is gonna do it. Because me and Jackson,
I wanted to hold
we're-
on to Danny.
We're grown ass men, and we were like, dude, this is kind of scary for real. Broad daylight, watching it broad daylight, sun's still up. You see it coming through the curtains. Fucking scary, man.
Just
Scary shit.
Just unsettling scenes.
Yeah. Good writing in that second leg. That first bit though, just
Like they did,
I don't
like
know,
they
just-
knew what they wanted to get to, right?
you don't even have to recast. I thought the casting was fine.
It was.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah,
Actually, looking back, I was like,
some of the acting pretty decent,
yeah. So we're gonna rate this.
except for that guy in the beginning. Yeah, how many fucking face mask? If you had 10, all your 10 fingers, they're actually thumbs. But guess what? Wait a minute, those thumbs, they're buckets of plaster.
So I can't rate this as a bad movie anymore.
still rate it on that scale. Rate it as a, I don't know, a fun fucking Halloween movie. Because it's the Ween, you know.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
You can give it a 9? That's fucking sick, bro.
I can't rate it as a bad movie.
I think just because this is like the Halloween content, and it's that we are recording this greatly in advance. Today is September 16th. However, when this comes out, it's going to be like late October. I think this is a great fucking Halloween movie, like fucking great. And I think I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Hell yeah.
I think this is good. You can do the rental off Amazon. Now, I'm sure there are multiple copies, cuts. Some of these are probably restorals. I'm assuming the one that we watched was a restoral because it was pretty clean.
It was pretty clean.
Pretty clean for Charles Band, 1979, fucking, you know, exploitation horror film.
Yeah.
I thought it looked great. Yeah, this would be a fun one to watch. Just, you know, when you put it on, then go make your popcorn, get your drink.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get settled in, it'll start to be off to the races in a few minutes. And it just gets fucking more
weird.
and more
well,
wild.
It might just get too uncomfortable for some people.
It might get too uncomfortable.
I
for
got
some people.
uncomfortable at the point. I was like, okay, Danny.
You know what else is uncomfortable? Next segment of the show.
Hey, what you watching?
Jackson, what you been watching, brother?
Oh man, I don't know. Life's been busy, man.
Fuck, that's it. I seen you in months. So what you watching? You're like, fuck, I don't know.
So last time I was here, we went fishing the day after, and we caught a deer.
We did catch a deer. Yeah, if you recall seeing any of those videos on our Instagram, Twitter, fucking wherever I posted them. Yeah, we found
awesome.
a random woodland deer.
Like it just followed us upstream.
Half mile.
More than that.
You think so?
That's like a mile.
Followed us forever. It was cool.
I was like, all right, this thing's gonna run away soon.
A pretty little buck. What do you think it was? 2, 3?
No, 1. 1.5.
Yeah, smaller than that.
Might have been 2.
Cool. It was cool.
Yeah, so
to
we had
just have a deer hanging out with us.
A deer with a handkerchief. So we thought it might be a pet deer, but at the same time, it was in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Middle of the woods. There's nothing like, there's no fences or anything.
Nope. Just a buck wearing a green bandana.
So we think it had like some type of health issue where it was not afraid of anything.
Yeah, they do have a, let me see here what it's called. All right, so it's called CWD, chronic wasting disease, a deadly illness in the white-tailed deer and other members of the deer family called cervids. The disease has been found in Missouri and is slowly spreading. The MDC is working with conservationist partners to find cases cases of CWD and limit its spread.
So I was somewhat terrified at the very beginning because me and Danny walk in the creek, fishing, having a good time, catching some fish, some pretty good fish, pretty good water we're wading through. All of a sudden, hear this like sprinting through the woods at me and Danny.
Yeah.
I have a fishing pole.
Cat. My first thought was cat.
I have a fishing pole, Danny, and then this little buck pops out. I'm like, oh, it's going to run away or it's going to freeze.
I didn't even see it because it was right on top of me.
And then it just...
Like, I looked over it and it was like almost licking me.
Yeah, it pops out and immediately goes straight to Danny and starts licking Danny.
Yep.
I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is not real.
Look, I got real close to petting a fox when I was a kid. I almost pet a blue herring. That's right. Oh. Right.
Dang, that's tough.
I got real fucking close to an owl.
That's even tougher.
I picked up a nighthawk, which sounds like a sneaker or a video game or something.
It's on Mortal Kombat.
It's a type of bird that eats mosquitoes.
Good.
It was really foggy and it flew into a stop sign. And I picked it up until it regained consciousness. I've held a baby sparrow. I held it's a yellow bird. I can't remember what they're called.
Tweety bird?
No, not a canary. No, it's just a wild bird. It looked like it was freezing to death, so I picked it up and cupped it in my hands and warmed it up until it flew off.
Poor little guy.
I held 2 bats, and now I had a deer come up to me and lick me, and we wrestled around a little bit, and I pet him and loved on him. And
grabbed his horns.
I'm a fucking Disney princess, bro.
I know you are. That thing like came up to you, and I was like, don't touch that. Like, it's got rabies.
No, I'll wrestle it.
And then it just starts coming up to Danny, and I'm like, "Are you gonna?"
Still had the felt on its
I'm like,
antlers
"Are you
and
gonna
shit. It was
touch
really
this thing?"
It
Like,
was
and then
really
Danny
cool.
reaches out and just playing with his horns. So I'm
Yeah.
like, "What is going on?"
Well, that disease that they're getting that's slowly spreading, what they get it from is it's only transferred. This is my understanding. This could be incorrect, but this is what I understand from Missouri Conservation.
Okay.
The disease is only spread through consumption of the bone marrow.
So they're eating their own bones.
Yeah, deer eat bones and shit. They'll
Oh,
happen
they're
across
eating,
some
like
bones.
dead animal bone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
So if you kill a deer and you take it to conservation, they will test it for this disease. If it has it, you can still eat it.
I didn't know that.
You can still
I
eat
would've
it,
thrown-
but you have to bury the carcass.
Okay. Huh. I didn't know you could still eat it.
Yeah. You can still eat. That's why I was like, oh, I'll play with it. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Like, it's not like it's going to...
I wanted to run. My first reaction was like, this deer's on rabies. I'm running. It's going to chase me through the river.
It was chill as fuck.
I was like, ah.
Well, I went fishing since then.
Okay.
And for the first time in a really, really, really long time, I got absolutely skunked.
Whoa.
Did not catch a thing. It was the coldest water I've been in fucking I don't know how long.
Was it the same stretch?
No, I was down near Arkansas fishing a place called Warm Fork.
So you could have been fishing for trout.
As soon as I got out, I was like, we got out and got back to the truck, and I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking Google this shit. I'm like, oh, it says there's trout in here. I bet there are no bass in this stretch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's kind of how they do. You know?
It's a little too cold.
So yeah, first time in a long time, got absolutely skunked. Even did a couple of change ups, but I wasn't equipped to throw like a rooster tail or something like that.
Man, those are hard days.
Didn't even bring my fly rod.
Those are hard days,
And
but
that water was so fucking cold. What's nice though is walking the stream. I actually rolled my ankle pretty hard, but because I had it in ice water for several hours, it was fine.
Oh, that reminds me because when
like it bothered me a bit the next day, and other than that, literally it was fine because I iced it for hours.
Well, that reminds me of when we're walking our stretch at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
It was super cold, and we didn't want to walk through that like mossy water.
Oh yeah,
and it was literally a spring. It was
just
like
fucking crystal clear.
I was like, Danny, my feet are freezing. I gotta get out of the water. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna get hypothermia. My feet are gonna turn blue.
Good shit, man. Good fucking fun shit.
A day on the river, day fishing, beats a day at work any day.
Oh yeah. Said what's the old moniker? A bad day fishing beats a good day at the office.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you ain't gotta catch nothing.
You've been getting into anything else? You're like one of our resident anime guys. You've been getting into any anime?
Man, I've been not watching much, honestly. I don't know. Like I've been head down with my work, just trying to work on that, and then
playing any games?
I'll play
any reading material?
Some Halo Infinite.
I'm trying to get better before I send you more invites. I don't want you to think I'm rude and just don't want to play with you. I just need to get a little better.
I do not care, Danny.
Okay.
I like playing social because how you play with me is how I play with Gary, and Gary is 100 times better than I am. And I'm like, damn. But like, I want to take it serious, but also I'm like, I want to have fun too.
Yeah, I used to be very, very good, but it was literally I played Halo 6 days a week for several hours a day.
Yeah.
It was a lot of what I did. And you know what? When I was awesome. At work, I was wishing I was at home playing Halo. So
awesome.
I would have been better if I had the time. But that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm like, I like to get on, play a couple matches, get my ass kicked a few times, and then I'm like, all right, I'll have one or two good games and be like, I should probably call it there.
See, like I have when I'm playing with you, I have fun. Just because, well, I don't know. It doesn't matter if we win or lose.
Because I'm bad. I gotta play with you one time and just fucking absolutely turn it on.
Shred.
You and me played a couple of games together, and I don't think I got over 11 kills.
Nah,
I stopped playing with you, or it was like the next day where I played a regular game of Slayer.
You sent me a screenshot.
I sent you a screenshot. Well, this was like last week. I was like, I tried to kill a guy with the assault rifle, no luck. Tried to kill a guy with the assault rifle again, no luck. I switched it up. I was like, all right, I'm going magnums. Oh. And I used the Magnum, the jet boost or whatever, the speed boost thing, and fucking sticky grenades, and wound up with 21 or 22.
Nice.
And was just dominating fucking air, just sticking people in cow.
I
It's doing
mean,
great. I love it when I get on
like
a good tear.
like I remember like going back to like my more competitive days. Like if I was playing basketball, God, super competitive with basketball, and there would be days that no one could guard me, and that's how I feel like with Halo. Some days I'm like,
Some days you're unstoppable.
like no one, like, all right, everybody's in the same lobby. I'm good. Like I got it. It's like I got the movement down today. I got the thought process and the maps memorized or whatever. So I
No
got
biggie,
this.
baby. Yeah, I'm still like learning the maps. I walk into walls a lot because I'm like strafing and shit, but I'm stuck on a wall because I'm not sure where they're at.
Well, and this Halo has a different like aiming system, so it throws a lot of people off. Like it throws me off way. Like I don't know. I don't even want to talk about the aiming system. It pisses me off, honestly.
Here's the ultimate question: will 3-4-3 or 3-4-5 or whatever the name of that
3-4-3.
3-4-3 will 3-4-3 ever make a really good Halo game? Do you think?
I think Halo Infinite is a good Halo game because it brings us back to Halo 2 and our roots. It slows the gameplay down.
Oh shit! I got a thing to talk about.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy Splatoon 3 as soon as we're done here.
What is Splatoon?
It's a first-person shooter on the Nintendo platform, and it's done like 5v5 or 6v6 or whatever. You have these giant fucking maps, and one team will be like green, the other team will be pink. Although you can kill opposite team members, that gives them a respawn, sends them back to the starting point. That's not the objective. The objective is to paint more of the map.
Okay.
But you can also swim. So once you have an area of the map painted, like halfway through the game, you have approximately half of the map painted. You can turn into a squid and swim through the ink, and that refills your ink, and you go twice as fast.
Huh.
So there's like a traversal gimmick to it as well.
I like it.
Like, you traversing the map is part of the game.
I like that thought. Like,
dude, it is so much fucking fun.
Like world building type.
It's very, very fun. Yeah, and I'm downloading that as soon as we're out of here. I forgot that was actually on my list of things to do this weekend was to download Splatoon 3.
I haven't played it. I haven't heard of it. It sounds fun.
Well, when I got a Nintendo Switch, my brother-in-law was like, hey, man, you got to get Splatoon 2. You'll love it. And I was like, I was looking at it, and I was like, I don't know, man, but I don't really have any other recommendations. I just bought this fucking Nintendo. Fine, I'll try it out. Holy shit, man, I was hooked, like, immediately. I played, like, 3 games, and I was like, oh, fuck, I get it.
Nice.
Super fun. Super fun. Even if you're getting your ass beat, it's super fun.
Well...
Which is weird, because when I'm getting my ass beat at Halo or Rocket League or Turbo Golf
It's
Racing,
kinda, like,
I'm
you know,
not having fun.
Like, you know it's in a competitive scenario. Like, you're saying it's like, this is kind of world building. Like, you might get beat, but it doesn't matter, because it's just a good time.
They're very, like, Halo maps, though.
Okay.
It would be cool, actually, it would be really cool if they, like, traded maps. Like, if Splatoon got a Halo map and Halo got a Splatoon map.
Honestly, like, map building is an art.
Yeah, it sure
like
is.
It has, like, you have to have good maps, and the layout of those maps have to line up.
Mm-hmm.
And like they have to make sense.
There's got to be quick escapes and ambush points.
Ambush points. They have to have you have to have the power weapons in a certain spot. You have to have like something everybody goes for in a certain spot. It's like and rewarded for going for it and winning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I'm really looking forward to playing that. So I'm sure as people are listening to this, because I've got so much backlog right now, that I talked about getting a comic book called God Country.
Oh, yeah.
And, that I was waiting for it to come. It came in this week, so I got it. I opened it and I read the fucking prologue in the beginning. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I had shit to do. So I read approximately 3 lines of it. It's like a poem, and I was like, this is going to be dope. But I haven't got to sit down and read it yet. I am hoping to get through it this week. It looks like a breezy read. Like,
pretty cool.
Watchmen took me forever to read because it is fucking dense. And I already knew what happened, so I kind of had to force myself to read it.
Yeah.
But this is brand new content. It is a third maybe as long as Watchmen, if that. And it looks like it is not as dense.
It looks good.
Yeah.
From what I saw, I was like, man, it looks pretty dope.
Looks fun. Art style's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I'm told it is quite the epic, which I am ready to sink my teeth into. So hopefully the next episode of this podcast, I will have a brief, comprehensive review.
Yeah. Look forward to hearing that.
Yeah, me
Be
too.
sweet, man.
Is there anything that is getting ready to come out that you're interested in as far as movies go?
I mean, like I said, I've been behind on shit. Like there's stuff that's out now that I'm like, I need to watch.
Like what? Give me one or two.
So I've been saving the last episode of Stranger Things. Like the last episode, I'm like just savoring it right now. I'm like,
Wow. You haven't had it spoiled for you yet? That's good.
Shut it.
Yeah, no, I won't say anything about it.
I mean, I don't get on the internet on like look for stuff. I'm like, I don't, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's just because I do this podcast and then I do the Hollywood Thumb, the movie news podcast.
Yeah.
That it's all of my like, social network stuff is movie stuff.
And you're seeing it.
Yeah.
Which for me, I'm like I see something, I'm like, I want to watch it, but I got shit to do. And then I'm like, then I go back and I watch it, I'm like, that was awesome. Where I was like, why'd I wait for that?
I've been going through this thing where I will see a stand-up comedy routine.
Yeah.
And I'll make a mental note of it, and then I will put it on my phone while I'm at work and listen to it in my headphones. I won't watch it, but I will listen to it.
I mean, most stand-up comedies, like, unless they're...
Not a lot of it's visual.
Yeah, unless they're a physical, like, visual type person, which... I don't think you have to be if you're a stand-up comic to be able to be funny. Like, just your storytelling.
A bunch of them don't.
Storytelling in a funny way.
Richard Pryor uses a lot of visual comedy. Apart from Richard Pryor, I'm struggling to think of another one. Bo Burnham uses a lot of visual comedy.
Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinison screams a lot.
He screams, but like his presence and things. You can just
if
listen to that.
You know
and be
what
happy.
if you know what he looks like, you get it.
Yeah, sure.
So there's not a lot of gags that you'll only get with your eyeballs, but yeah, no, that's another thing I've been getting into lately.
Nice.
I've been listening to more music, but nothing new.
Okay.
So
yeah,
what I would really love is a really good punk rock album and a really good heavy metal album to listen to that are new. They'll be like, here, this is the cream of the crop, baby. So if anybody has any recommendations, I would love it if you'd write me at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com.
Yeah, what y'all got?
Wait, at It's Just Two Movies on Twitter, Instagram. It's Just Two Movies @gmail.com. We're also on Facebook. It's Just Two Movies. On TikTok, I think it's the same thing.
It's just two movies.
Yeah, it's just two. It's not like a lot or a big investment.
Come on,
it's just
guys.
2 movies.
It's just 2 movies.
Pretty easy stuff. Yeah, if you guys could write me anything like that. Like, I've been listening to more music frequently. I've been playing a little more music recently. My kid's getting into band, learning how to play the clarinet, so that's fucking cool.
Nice.
It's just an absolute natural at it.
Awesome.
Has fucking amazing sustain for someone who's never touched a reed instrument in their life. It is it's fucking crazy, man, because I can barely get sound out of it. And I've played reeded instruments.
Yeah, I mean, I played the alto sax at one point in my young life. Decent at it until they told me I had to do jazz band. I had no rhythm. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Wham, wham.
I'm white.
You are Caucasian. It says here
That's how I found out.
It says here you're Caucasian. That's terrible. You're clearly a white man. I've been listening to, we had Jeremy Jones from Destroy the Brain on the podcast.
Yeah.
I had listened to a couple of, obviously several episodes before he came on, because I do a lot of homework and I have a lot of time to listen to shit.
Yeah.
So I'd listened to a lot of Destroy the Brain podcast, having listened to that breadth of it and having listened to like 1 or 2 episodes previously. Now I'm just in on it. I'm just going to listen to it until I'm caught up.
Full tilt.
Yeah, they've got like 80 something episodes.
So I'm not familiar with it. Tell me a little more.
Destroy the Brain, they do a couple of different styles of episodes, but essentially like the movie that we just watched, Tourist Trap, they do films like that.
Okay.
So we're talking mostly like horror, goopy monsters and horror gags.
Okay.
And that kind of stuff. Really great bunch of guys.
Nice.
Great bunch of guys. Andy Triefenbach and Jeremy Jones. And I think you can check their stuff out at Destroy the Brain on Instagram and probably Twitter and maybe other platforms. I'm not real sure. Not my podcast, but I'm enjoying the show because I'm a fucking movie nerd. So if you're into that stuff, you might be into that.
Sweet. I'll check it out.
Yeah, give it a go. I think that's all I've got, man. You got anything else you want to add or kind of pepper in there?
Nah, not really.
Okay, that works.
I have a boring life.
Well, I have been Daniel King. This has been Jackson, and here, as we say at the end of every episode of It's Just Two Movies.
We say something?
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's all that gold talk! We're a one-eyed Batman!
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin, businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
I just wanted to throw out a couple of special thanks for the folks that make this show possible. Big thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams, Lamplighter Production for our artwork, Godsized Growing for some musical guest appearances, and Dave, who's our YouTube editor. We probably wouldn't even be on that platform were it not for him. If you want to check out anything any of these amazing people are working on, all of their links are in the description for this episode. If you want to contact the show, you can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at It's Just Two Movies. We've got a Facebook page now, so that's on there. You can always leave us a comment on YouTube, or you can email us at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com. Okay, yeah, and if you like the show, like, subscribe, leave us a review. That stuff helps tremendously. Right, I could do it. Yeah, I know I could. I'm an adult. I can do whatever I want. And just to prove it to myself, I'm gonna not do that thing.
Right, okay. I know I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna look at my phone or watch TV or play Xbox.
At some point,